Hello, I'm Sandtiger and I'm here today with the first of a series of guides covering chimps mode strategies. A lot of people have requested I make a chimps guide, so I'm going to be making 5 strategies for the simple reason that in Chimp.S we can't nerf literally every tower in the game. The game would be unplayable, so... if I show you enough strategies, they can't nerf all of them. This first one is the most simple one in terms of upgrades. It doesn't use very many towers. It's called Blade Dancer. We're going to be focusing on the super malestorm, the majority of the strategy. A general rule for the strategy is to find some sort of bend where the attack shooter is very, very close to the track, and somewhere that a lot of its tacks are being taken up. This spot, for example, gives it 7 tacks coverage. Range isn't really too important. And Quincy is going to be dealing with a lot of the unique balloon properties like lead and camo, while our attack shooter is going to be dealing with the grouped balloons in the earlier rounds. So we're going to grab next. Quite tempting between Alk and Village. I'm personally going to say Village isn't the best one to start with because it doesn't give Quincy lead popping power. And the Alchemist is a larger buff overall. Not to mention the Alk itself does pop some balloons, whereas the Village doesn't. We're going to leave our attack shooter alone for now. Next upgrades are all going to be Alchemist ones. The goal just now is to get ourselves Berserker Brew and faster throwing, so it covers both of these most of the time. You are on a shorter map and it looks like things are going to start leaking. Just pop Quincy's ability, it makes him shoot really quickly for a short period of time. Should be fine though. Once you give Brute the attack, it's able to pop 2 layers per blade instead of 1. Quincy's the same with his arrows, both of his arrows pop an extra layer. We get faster throwing to make sure the Alchemist is able to cover more of the towers more of the time. Once you get stronger stimulant, it covers both towers all the time. I believe it gives them a little bit extra range or something as well. Of course, the very useful descriptions say lots about the tower. Here comes the explosive arrows. These are quite handy because they help clear out more area. And if you're combining that with the Alchemist, the explosions are now popping 2 layers, which is very useful. Next on the list of our things that we need to get ourselves a village. The village will provide a buff to both towers. It will also help us with our glue gunner later on. It will provide the glue gunner more pierce. As for the placement of the village, we need to make sure that the village is going to cover far enough away for it to be outside of the Alchemist's range. Because we don't want the glue gunner taking up the Alchemist's buffs Do you want to look? So if we place it here, the alchemist is going to try buffing the glue gunner. We don't want that. We want to make sure it just has the little village symbol. Get him bigger globs. And stickier glue. Primary training to help us deal with the Moab. On round 40. This guy just now is mainly going to be for slowing down ceramics, but we can get him Moab glue for later on. We also want to give our malestorm the option to pop camo. For this, wait until it's within range, hit Quincy's ability, and the Moab is dealt with. Next up, buy your malestorm. Basically, if there's any grouped balloons that Quincy can't deal with, the malestorm can deal with it. Especially with the Berserker Brew, the malestorm ability does about 200 damage. Next, we're going to get Radar Scanner. For later on in the game, it helps the glue gunner spot DDTs. It also makes our Super Maelstrom effective against DDTs. And of course it'll help us with 78. Next up we're going to get Moab Glue. And we're going to be upgrading this to Relentless Glue. This means that whenever Quincy's popping balloons, the glue gunner's getting more out of it. It's covering even more balloons. We're also going to be getting Glue Splatter. Make sure it's not missing any. And this obstacle, depending on your strategy, if you need water towers or not, can be quite useful. For this map in particular, I would recommend removing this obstacle to give Quincy a little bit extra reach. Not all maps have obstacles though. If your map doesn't have obstacles, you'll just be buying upgrades a bit cheaper earlier. Get Relentless Glue. So this should now cover pretty much everything. These little globs on the floor will pick a few balloons up each. Next on the list is getting our Super Maelstrom. First though, we have a couple of stinky Moabs. Let's pop the ability when the Moabs pop. And it should clean up all the ceramics inside. There aren't so many more difficult rounds left though. Once we get Super Maelstrom, the game will be pretty easy. Any challenging waves gets the Maelstrom and it should pop everything. Quincy's level 10 ability is also quite helpful for round 63, as it can grab the middle wave of balloons while the Maelstrom is on cooldown. Use that here, and that's our Maelstrom, Super Maelstrom. Its passive gains more layers of popping and more pierce, which makes it very useful. The blades also last a bit longer, so it should pop more balloons while its ability is on cooldown. Generally the idea is to wait until there's something like Moabs or ceramics that are getting to the Maelstrom and then pop the ability. Quincy holds them off while its ability cools down, and then it's ready to use again. Next on the list is going to be Primary Expertise. Primary Expertise has quite a valuable passive. It helps to fend off super ceramics later in the game. And it provides the passive of the Maelstrom with more pierce, and the glue gunner gets more pierce for its glue. More noteworthy quality of it, of course, being that the ballista is very useful for weakening Moabs so the Maelstrom can kill them. BFB isn't too much of a hassle, it pops down the Moabs, then we use the ability to clear the Moabs. For this wave, we use the Storm of Arrows while it's off cooldown. It shouldn't need the extra ability. I think for shorter maps you might have to pop the Maelstrom at the end of the round, but it should be fine. Throwing out a couple of extra arrows with Quincy. These fortified Moabs just use the ability on the attack shooter. 63 is here. For this. Super Maelstrom the first wave. It of course is going to be on cooldown when the second wave comes out. Use Quincy's ability. Oh wait, we killed the first wave with something else? Oh, I don't know. Oof. Must have missed a wave somewhere. I was going to say you normally use the Super Maelstrom for the third wave. Oh well. Slightly bamboozled myself there. This wave, we're going to weaken the Moabs with Quincy's ability. And the BFBs. Use the BFBs, splitting the Moabs. Use the ability to clear the Moabs away. Getting primary expertise soon-ish. Another handy feature is if for whatever reason balloons do get through, the Super Maelstrom covers the entire map. You should be able to clean up any leaks before they get out. Here comes some BFBs. Nobody likes BFBs. Round 69 is a strange one. It's oddly easy for a round this late on. Don't think you need any abilities for it. Using his level 10 ability, his level 3 ability. We're getting quite close to our primary expertise now. And at the end of this round we should be able to get our primary expertise, which trivialises quite a while. These large ballista shots pop a Moab straight away before we get into the free play rounds. Shouldn't need a second glue gunner because this guy's got lots of extra Pierce from the village upgrade. The Alchemist will now buff it to our frustration, as alch buffing this guy does very little. But the Alchemist is weird and seems to like throwing potions at the village. However, for later on in the game, we're going to be grabbing ourselves Permanent Brew. This is mainly just for the interaction with the Super Maelstrom. Permanent Brew makes Super Maelstrom around 6 times stronger. It also gives Quincy a handy buff. There we go. End of 75, pop the ability. It also cleans up 76, which is handy. And then we have this little boy. 78 is a joke because it pops the ceramics instantly with its ballista. The goal just now is to save up for this guy. We should get him in the early 90s. Cost-wise, it's actually quite cheap overall. Super Maelstrom, primary expertise. We haven't put any levels into Quincy, so it's about the same price as the old Super Monkey strategies, Sun avatars. As for thoughts on overall on the Super Maelstrom, I did say it was the best tower in the game just now. The simple reason is that buffs allow you to scale it past what most towers do. Normally with a tower you get the tower and that's it. With the Super Maelstrom there are tons of ways to upgrade it with the towers. Permanent Brew, Glue Storm, Super Brittle is also incredibly useful. I don't recommend Super Brittle though. Same problem with Purple Moab, it just doesn't cover enough balloons. Although the buff is quite strong, I would prefer a Permanent Brew, which always works. As for the top path attack shooter, I personally think the Inferno Ring is quite underpowered for its price. Because you can easily buy both a Maelstrom and Attack Zone for the same price, and they will definitely give you more out of them. As will a lot of other 5th tier choices. Inferno Ring can be beaten by things like Apache Prime, which are cheaper. I think Apache Prime is roughly the same price. So it's 4th tier being so expensive, but you get the idea, it's not worth the cost. At least with Apache Prime you know you're getting something that can almost solo the entire game. This Inferno Ring's got a variety of weaknesses you need to cover for. You can't pop the bad, it's very good against EDTs, it's just awkward. And it needs the primary expertise for its fireball to be worth anything. Anyway, we're now quite into the 80s, we haven't popped an ability in ages thanks to this lovely ballista. Once we get Perma-Brew, you'll be able to see the quite nice little blade dance that this thing does. It's definitely a sight to behold. I mean, just now, it's popping a lot of balloons, but wait until you see it when it's popping an extra couple of layers. And shooting quick. Here comes some stinky zombies, I don't like these. And then we just delete them, because why not? Fortified BFBs are quite a problem, because fortified ceramics are annoying. As for the supporting towers, like the Ninja's Sabo or Shattering Shells is quite tempting. Fortified Super Ceramics are very annoying. But to be quite honest, just get Permanent Brew first and then worry about them later. You can easily hold off the few Fortified Super Ceramics that you get. For 98 obviously you're going to want to have the extra power available. We are now approaching the Permanent Brew. Shouldn't be too far away now. Early 90s. These Moab BFB things are quite annoying. Fortified Super Ceramics for C.H.I.M.P.S. And then around 90, this is one that is quite scary. Fortunately, this guy comes with lead popping power. So as the DDTs get closer, we pop the ability and they disappear. Quincy's also pretty good against DDTs with his level 3 ability. And there we go. Brew is now only a few thousand away, and waves aren't particularly difficult yet. 95 is the first one that can be a bit of a pain without the perma brew. And there we go. 3 ZOMGs. Wait until they pop into BFBs. The ability and Super Maelstrom deals with them. And that's Permabrew. Permabrew will make this Maelstrom noticeably stronger. You'll notice it's now popping things quite far away. Quincy's abilities are quite strong as well now. Because one of the things he has a problem with is his ability. It makes him shoot too quickly for the brew. Whereas now he won't lose the brew when using his ability. He's now very strong. As for what to buy next, there is one upgrade left. We're going to plonk ourselves down, overclock. An extra little bit of popping power. Quincy is now a very happy boy. His level 20 ability isn't really that impressive, but it exists. If you use it, it does basically nothing, but Quincy's ability holds off the DDTs. For the last little bit of the wave, we have the Malestorm. The purpose of the overclock is just to make the Maelstrom's ability able to deal with 98 in one go. It is the blade dance as such. You can also apply it to the primary expertise, that's quite a good use of it. But the main purpose is for making our blades go very spangly. Sparkly. Because now it deletes anything that's remotely close to it. As for the BAD, the Super Maelstrom with both Permanent Brew and Overclock, it almost instantly kills the BAD. Keep in mind this thing is now worth well over $80,000, so you would expect it to do something spectacular. Here comes 98. This, we're going to slow it down a bit. Fairly sure we can afford a Sabo, which I'm going to throw down for 99. Pop the ability. Pop the Sabo. Pop the Maelstrom. And it should get rid of the last little bit of this wave. Although I think I popped that ability way too early. This is the one frustration at 98. Very tempting to pop that ability too early. It's the one oopsie I made. Don't do what I just did. Make sure you have the Sabo at the start of the wave. As tempting as it is to stick this overclock off straight away, don't do that. Maelstrom ability needs to catch all of these COMGs. Wait until you can't wait any longer. Pop the ability. And that's what it should do, it should clear the entire wave. As for 99, overclock. This guy. You should grab those ceramics, thank you. And now the BAD. Big chunky balloon. Quincy's abilities damage it. All pretty much here is to get the BAD a bit weaker, so when it approaches our Super Maelstrom, Super Maelstrom should delete the BAD. Did I activate that too late? Yes, I activated it too late. Ah. We didn't get to see the yeet. It's a shame. And Super Maelstrom. We're done. That was a very nice Insta-Monkey, actually. Very happy with that. What's this achievement? Oh. You're not always going to get impoppable achievement for doing a Chimps mode run, but yeah, let's play Dancer. It's quite fun, quite simple. That's the rest of the strategies. There's going to be a lot more abilities and awkward timings for things. But this one's a good one to get you started. It should be able to beat all of these beginner maps. Just gives you 12, 13, 14, and then cracked 15. Gives you your achievement. I can find it in this list somewhere. It's too many achievements now. Where on earth is it? There it is. Ultimate Bloom Master. Beat 15 Chimps mode maps. This strategy should get you this achievement. And that's all today.